Hey guys, today we will be doing reloads for the Nerf Slingfire. There's some really cool tricks you can do with this really cool system. It's a lever action magazine fed shotgun. It's not really a shotgun because it doesn't fire multiple darts at one time, but sure does look like one. If you replace the front barrel with a 3D printed extension, it looks a lot like a real hunting rifle. You can put a scope here or whatever you want. This will be a how-to video on how to do all these different tricks. This lever system here allows for some really cool reloads. First off, I do recommend you wear gloves. Not like working type gloves, because those are a little bit too thick, and a lot of times they'll have rubber on them, so you won't be able to do these different tricks because it'll stick and it won't work. These ones are a little bit slippery. You can get these at like Target or wherever. They're not like for warmth or anything, they're just for looks. They're pretty comfortable and they'll work very well in this. Second, make sure you always have a firm grip on this lever here, because I have dropped this multiple times and I'm afraid it's going to break every time. It is a surprisingly sturdy blaster. Even though this does not seem very sturdy, it is quite sturdy. People have had these for years, and they've done these tricks for the entire time they've had them, and they have not broken. So don't worry about that too much, unless within reasonable ways of using this. Like, if you're not trying to break it like that or whatever, like, it's not going to break. Anyway, so the first reload, what you're going to want to do is you want to have your thumb not holding this grip here. You want to have all four of your main fingers inside the lever here. And what you're going to want to do is you want to throw the front forward, just like that. Technically, you could dual wield these if you just, I don't have two, so just like that, if you had two of them. But yeah, it's super simple. I'll just do it a couple times, and I'll do it slow-ish. I'll just use this hand, pretend this hand isn't here. If you don't try to pull it back, it won't pull back on you, so it almost does it all by itself. Anyway, the second and third reload are pretty much the same thing. One is just for beginners, and the other is for people who have mastered that second one. So this is where we start getting into the Terminator type. So for beginners, if you don't have this, it's your first time having it, and you want to do some really cool tricks with it to impress your friends, obviously. This still looks really cool. I don't doubt that it looks amazing, but the one-handed is way cooler. What you want to do first is do this, right? Then make sure it's primed all the way forward. Do not bring it back. You want to have your middle finger on the far edge, and you're going to want to throw the front towards you, so it's going to go under your arm, just like that. Looks awesome. I mean, you can't do this with anything else except the Scavenger, another zombie strike lever action. Looks pretty similar, but this one just looks way cooler. Yeah. Make sure your middle finger is always at the back. Make sure it's primed forward, don't bring it back at all, and spin it just like that. Next one. So to transition from that reload to the next one-handed version, what you're going to want to do is just put one finger here. You might want to take a couple days. I learned pretty quickly because I've watched a ton of videos on it. But first thing you want to do is just put your finger here, and only your middle finger goes in the back of the lever. You can do it with both your index and your middle finger if they're not gigantic, but just like that. I did it with both these fingers. Just like that, one finger, just like that, alright? And eventually, you'll get to doing it one-handed, but it's a lot harder like that, because you can move this finger away pretty quickly. Anyway, the third and final reload for the Nerf Slingfire is the one-handed Terminator. This is what he does in the movie, and it's awesome. honestly. Ever since I saw this, I was like, I want to do that. So I got one a couple days ago and was practicing this a lot. So what you want to do here, let me change the angle of the camera here for you. Right about there. Okay, you want to always have it at your hip, right? This is the best physical position for me to put this in, for it to work properly almost every time. So what you want to do, just your middle finger, remember. Don't have that hand. Maybe while practicing, just keep it right here just in case. But once you're pretty confident in yourself, you can put it behind your back. What you want to do, swing it forward and backwards just a little bit. Just give it a little swoosh. And then what you want to do is take your middle finger, fling it forward as fast as possible to the front of the lever. That will push it all the way forward, and then with the same hand and the same movement, bring your middle finger back to the back and spin it. So doing this slowly is pretty hard. I mean, I didn't prime it forward all the way, so it didn't prime it. But again, just like that. See, if you I can't do it every time. I haven't totally mastered it, but I can do it most of the time. I did do 10 in a row yesterday. You can make sure you keep practicing it. It's once you get a rhythm, it'll start working almost every time. That was 3 in a row right there. Anyway, guys, this was reloads for the Nerf Slingfire. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the Nerf Dudes. Thank you for watching.